Welcome along if you're online watching this or at some later dates through our live stream, which won't be live if you're watching this in 2 weeks' time. Kia ora. I'll just hand over to Jenny, Councillor Gallagher, who will lead us in the karakia and Councillor affirmation.
Let us affirm today that we as councillors will work together to serve the citizens of Selwyn District, to always use our gifts of understanding, courage, common sense, wisdom and integrity in all our decisions, dealings and discussions so that we may solve problems effectively. May we always recognise each other's values and opinions, be fair-minded and ready to listen to each other's point of view. In our dealings with each other, let us always be open to the truth of others and ready to seek agreement, slow to take offence and always prepared to forgive. May we always work to enhance the well-being of the Selwyn District and its communities.
Very well. Good, Jenny, thank you for that. There's no apologies today. We've got a full muster of attendees. Any identification of extraordinary business that you're aware of, David, or any councillors?
Nothing that's been brought to my attention, Mr. Mayor.
Right, any conflicts of interest that aren't already collected on the register? None. We have no public forum today. I'll just note, though, that at the last public forum, there was some discussion around community committees, and I think I suggested that it was going to be on this council meeting agenda, and it's actually on the next council meeting agenda as far as time frame goes. So just for clarity, I thought I'd just let that be known. Confirmation of minutes from the 4th of November.
Yeah, so I have sent through a small correction to those minutes, but I have to move it.
Cool, thank you. And a seconder? Councillor Epihar. Any further discussion on those minutes? All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? Declare it carried. There's one item requiring attention, water services month update, effective industrial growth on our storage plant, which will come at the next time we receive our water report. And before I hand to David with our Chief Executive's report, I just want to note a couple of things. Firstly, it's been November, and I'd like to apologise to my wife for the moustache that I've carried, and to the rest of the councillors. Yeah, thank you for your patience with me. But November is about men's health and talking about something that we don't often talk about. Too many men die too early for preventable reasons, and it's generally about not seeking help or asking a mate how they're going, and encouraging one another to take objects where they can. So me doing this, raising awareness with around our table, family within the Selwyn district, and riding 5Ks from Arthur's Pass to Tauranga was a key part of raising that awareness. Just want to thank Phil Dean from Rolleston, Robert Harris for coming along on that ride and contributing to that awareness raising, and Sean Tully as well for organising the trip and riding with us. One man under his own power, and the rest of us just slightly better. Part of the trip is recognising our district and the different environment that we have, and I've just brought back 2 rocks just to highlight the way that is. So this rock, they're the same rocks. They're grey worky. They come from the same area, on top of our mountains. This one is from Arthur's Pass National Park. And been washed up on the shores of Te Wahora Lake Ellesmere. And I guess it just shows the variety that we have in our district, right from the across out into the landscape that we have by the ocean, but also represents the sameness that we all are, being part of the same community. And I just keep them as representations of the trip, but it just also as a reminder of Ki Uta Ki Tai, from the mountains to the sea, which has been a key part of Te Ara Kakariki's vision in creating green dots to allow birds to travel right across the Selwyn landscape. And they're a group that we also fund from here on council. So Movember, there are other members in council who are growing moustaches at the moment and doing other events. I think we've raised about $1,300 so far. And if you search for Selwyn Slugs on the Movember page, you'll be able to see a little more about it there. And if you'd like to contribute, we welcome that. It's all going to a very good cause. Another thing that we started last month was just highlighting and recognising staff contribution to what goes on. I think it's the same. And I don't know if there's a fix for the microphones, but they're cutting it in and out a lot. Stephen, I don't know if that's something you're able to help us with. But staff do an amazing job behind the scenes. Some staff interface with their community all the time, and others allow council to function in a way that isn't seen quite so often. And so there's a staff shout out program, which is just a chance to recognise one another and the good work that's gone on. And I'd just like to highlight Therese Devil. This month, Therese is sitting over on my right. Yeah. And the little piece that has been given for Therese today is thank you, Therese, for always being willing and flexible and by doing whatever's needed to assist our team. Thank you for going the extra mile. Your approach to work definitely makes it happen for Selwyn. It's greatly appreciated by the property team, and we wanted to acknowledge this. Thank you. So from one team to yourself, Therese, and I know it's recognised by myself and the councillors and the work that we see you do. Thank you for your contribution to this council. David, I'll hand over to you and we'll go through your report.
Okay, Mr Mayor, thank you. Councillors, good afternoon. A fairly low-level report from me. One additional recommendation, which I'll talk to. I didn't say original dates or you note that we are proposing to adopt for consultation on the 10th of March. Will be subject to us having concluded successfully another series of workshops, albeit after this morning's workshop. And secondly, external auditors over the next those times place. Next item on the agenda is council or meetings calendar. We haven't popped all of the LTP dates in there at this stage, so that we do have degrees of flexibility. Excuse me, depending on the number of submissions and the detail that's required to attend to those submissions. Item number 2, Three Waters response. I'll just get Murray Washington to make a couple of comments, but very happy to advise that we have received confirmation from DIA of their acceptance of our stimulus funding program, and we have forwarded the appropriate invoice to them. Murray, is there any comments that you would like to make?
Yes, thanks, David. We sent the invoice through last Friday, and we have been told that will be paid before the end of the month. The next last council meeting of the year on the 9th of December, we will have a report in public included around the procurement of the project manager, designer and contractor. So that will that'll be the next step, and then we'll also highlight some of the key milestones that we have to work through. We're still working through to some degree what the reporting requirement will be. I'm pretty sure they'll be quite onerous, as everything else has been to date. So now that's good news. I think everybody's been signed off now, and now we're also pendulum shifted a wee bit to quite a lot of staff input into DIA requests around information for the entities, which is going to run in parallel to the Canterbury Mural Forum review as well.
All right, thank you. 2 other items on the report are for your information. First one is just around newly elected LTNZ members, and second one, an amendment Draw your attention to C to act as council's proxy for this afternoon's SciCon AGM, and if he's unable to attend, Councillor Lemon be authorised as the alternate. The reason I put that up there is just realised that whilst I signed the forms and sent them through an appropriate time, that I just didn't have the recommendation signed off by council.
Okay.
So, Mr Mayor, happy to answer any questions on the content report.
Any questions from councillors on that? There've been none. A mover and a seconder for David's report. Move Councillor Gallagher, second Councillor Mugford. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Item number 2 is Chief Executive again.
Mr Mayor, again, thank you. So this report is around the adoption of our proposed meeting schedule for the 2021 calendar year. Follows rational lines that we have used this year, where there will be 2 council meetings, the first one each month under the headings of Mayoral Office, Community Services and Facilities Finance, Environment and Regulatory, plus 5 Waters, and the second to talk about transport, solid waste, property, major projects, and the CE's report. We've identified again the first Wednesday of each month as a briefing meeting, if required, for matters of technical consideration. Melbourne Community Board met on Monday of this week, and confirmed their Monday evening meetings, continuing to commence at 4 p.m. And over the page in the report, you'll note reference to councillor recess days, and also November 21 meetings, citizenship ceremonies, but more importantly, going to the schedule, and it's on page number 29. We'll just note it, some of the additional flexibility things that we're going to need to look at with respect to the long-term plan, district plan reviews and representation reviews. And again, those are deliberately left blank because we're not entirely sure of the level of submission and or the content of those submissions that we're going to be required to deal with. Happy to answer any questions, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Jenny and Mark, I'm not sure who was first.
David, just one question. Melbourne Community Board's meetings, should we not have that it's the 4th Monday of the month?
Yes. Thank you. Yes, we should.
Thank you, Councillor Gallagher and Councillor Alexander.
I would like to propose an amendment to this meeting schedule. If we refer to page 26, the November meetings, I think it's an anachronism that we don't meet Cup and Show Week. When I first moved to Selwyn and got involved, the majority of councillors were farmers. They were involved in exhibiting and attending every show. That reflected our district 20 years ago. When I look around this chamber today, and when I look around our district, that does not represent our district of today. We put staff through quite a deal of pressure to have a meeting on the 28th of October this year, and then a meeting on the 4th of November. We didn't meet Show Week when there was no show. So I would propose that we do meet our regular council meeting on Show Week, if it falls on Show Week. Staff that want to attend Cup and Show activities are able to do so by taking annual leave. Councillors similarly can ask for a leave of absence to attend the show if they do need to do so. I think we need to get with the times and reflect our district and stop this anachronism. Our meetings flow better if council meets twice monthly on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday. And I would propose that from 2021, we do have a council meeting on the Wednesday, even if it falls on Show Week.
Thanks, Mark. Are there any supporting or alternative views around the table? Councillor Lemon and Councillor McCass.
Yeah, I won't be perhaps quite as strident as Mark, but I tend to agree that its time has passed, and I think quite happy for that to just go back to the normal monthly schedule.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, just supporting that.
Councillor Miller.
I'm completely on the other side. I'm happy to be known as an anachronism. It's no problem to me. Remembering this is Canterbury Anniversary Day. This is the week of Canterbury Anniversary Day. People make holiday plans. They have long weeks. Our staff, regardless of whether you expect to take a public holiday or not, like to do that. the biggest week of the calendar around racing, which you may not be involved in racing, but is a significant industry in Selwyn. Hey, you can say we've moved on all we like, but some things are good, whether you choose to support them or not. And I'm just not sure what we're going to achieve by moving to the schedule. It doesn't seem like there's any burning issues we missed this year that we didn't by doing it. And in fact, I'll be the reverse. I'd be happy if there's 2 meetings close together. Why not drop one of the following meetings and have only 1 meeting and make it a decent sized meeting in the late November? Don't have the early October one, because it seems we create a lot of work for staff in that respect. But I say different solutions, same outcome.
Thanks. David, there's just one of the questions around staff. Haven't been able to pick up meeting after meeting. Your official plan.
No, it
Sorry,
wasn't
answer.
an issue
If
at all.
that's actually what I asked them why.
In fact, there were a number of reports that were held over from the previous week or arrived late for the previous week. So no, it didn't impact. And in terms of staff taking annual holiday, that's fine. But if they're on holiday, they're on holiday. They're not available to come into a meeting anyway. And there are a number who are not there. Councillor Miller, I think, has got the more accurate answer though, and that is, it is our holiday week. It is Canterbury Show Week, public holiday, and people do make other arrangements.
Thank you, Councillor Lau.
As a one-eyed, born and bred Cantabrian, I support the anachronisms in the room. I do. I Show Week is Show Week, Cup Week, whether you attend the racing or not, it's Show Week. I particularly enjoy it because it gives us a week away from council business. So it gives us a mini break as we go through, heading into a very busy time of year. It is Canterbury Anniversary Week. I support it staying as it is.
Thank you, Councillor Gallagher.
Thank you, Mayor. I support Councillor Miller's and Lyle's comments. It is our anniversary week, and I'll go with their decisions.
Yeah, so it seems like from what Councillor Miller said and what others have supported, that on next year, November the 3rd, the Council 2 meeting will actually be deleted. But we're already meeting for audit and risk on that day. So keeping the afternoon available for a council meeting should be needed. That is there, even though it is only a week after the previous council meeting. Cool. Okay, so we'll leave that there. The reserve day on Wednesday. This is just where we determine that. Obviously, have a show of hands. Those that want to not meet on show week, please raise your hands. And those that would like to meet on show week, raise your hands. So we won't be having a meeting on Wednesday the 10th, but thank you for raising that, Councillor Alexander. Around meeting dates, just one other thing for this year is we may need an extraordinary meeting on the 16th of December, David. There are items that we won't necessarily be able to sign off in time for December the 9th this year. And with the next council meeting not being until well into next year, there's some decisions that need to be made this side of Christmas. So just highlighting that December the 16th will likely be an extraordinary council meeting.
Sam, on that one, if we were to meet the 16th, can I request that it be a morning meeting? Because a number of us have school events that we've already just committed to attend, if possible, to attend that afternoon. And so a morning meeting, given it's probably not long in duration, would be a much more feasible and put much less strain on our calendars.
Yeah. Thank you for that feedback. Has anyone got any problems with that? It's an extraordinary meeting, so it can be timed to fit.
Just mostly that it's
Yeah, it is. As I understand it, the extraordinary meeting will be probably half an hour in duration. The LTP workshop 9:30 through 12. Bear in mind, we've also got an LTP workshop on Wednesday the 9th. So it may well be that the requirement for the whole 3.5 hours on the 16th for LTP will be diminished. We'll note the extraordinary on that date.
Yep. The alternative for the 16th is that we can have an executive meeting with just 4 of us meeting for those decisions. So the discussion today, most of us will be here anyway, and we'll just have it as a meeting. So, go to Councillor Dot, proposed council meetings for 2021. is here, but removing the reserve day on Wednesday, the 10th of November. Moved EPR, seconded Lyle. All those in favour say aye. Against? Declare it carried. Item 3 is acquisitions, disposal and leasing manager. Consent to grant easement to Orion on High Street, Cooley. Moved Councillor Lemon and seconder. Yep, Councillor Bland. Is there any discussion or people would require any questions or answers? All those in favour say aye. Against? Declare it carried. Item number 4 is solid waste monthly update. Andrew Boyd.
He was intending to be here, and he was intending to be here before Spring Park, but he's not. So unless there's any, I don't think there's anything significant to, no recommendations, other than if you've got any questions, I can take them back, or Andrew will be here for the carbon baseline report. The public including to take any questions then.
Okay, are there anything in the agenda that people had questions on that I'd like to raise and we can up to now? Meaning Mr. Boyd in the room later, we can see whether it can say
I was just going to ask Mr. Boyd, and it would also apply to Mr. England if we were doing waters, about the potential impact of one of the new plan changes on our operations at both the Pines Resources Recovery Park and the Pines Wastewater Treatment Plant. We have a large plan change to apply for in near both of those operations and the potential impact that it could have on those operations.
Thank you, Mr. Washington.
Yeah, I can answer that. We on both, as in terms of solid waste and wastewater, we are concerned about potential reverse sensitivity issues and how that may be addressed.
Thank you, Councillor McInnes.
I just wanted to, I'd like to say it to Andrew, but he's not here at the moment, but just mention that he gave a great presentation at the Lincoln Enviro Town meeting last week about the Reconnect project, and it was, very well received and did a great job.
Thank you, Councillor McInnes. You want to move that we receive that report on solid waste? Thank you, and seconded. Councillor Alexander. Any further discussion? All those in favour say aye. Against? Declare it carried. And item number 5 is the Group Manager for Property transaction update for the 31st of October. And just come to the front of the room.
Thank you, Isham. We'll just go through project by project. So Aquatic Centre. It's fair to say that on behalf of users of the pool, those change rooms are a hell of a lot smaller in reality than when you look on plans. So I think we do apologise to the community, a bit of inconvenience the next wee while, but the project's progressing well. Tiara Tia, you can all see that one too. Again, this project's progressing really well. Got a wee bit of a discussion in public excluded on a couple of issues, but in general going well. The fit out becomes greater focus into 2021, so we're just working through timing of that at the moment with Workshop E and that work. But it's all fine. Similarly, within the courts, we had actually a site visit from, I think it was a Hawke's Bay Sports Trust yesterday, which Dave Sippett and Sandrine Clara run through in conjunction with myself with a few queries, but they were really impressed with the procurement process we'd used and how that worked. So it's going well. So, and of course, the naming of the John F. Reid Courts has been announced in the last couple of days. So thank you all for that decision.
Update your template to the new name of the centre.
Well, remember only. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, got that one wrong. We'll fix that. Responsible camping. Nothing more to add there. We're getting a few campers now coming in, but not in great numbers. And you'll see some confirmed dates for Lakeside and Springston toilets further on in that part of the report. And also we're progressing well at Lake Coleridge. Camping activities, nothing further to add on that particular item. Similarly with Lincoln Events Centre, apart from the fact that we've got some work to do with the Lincoln Rugby Club rooms, just on work we're doing there on some feasibility issues, which we can talk about probably in December when we've had a meeting with them. Parrata, everything's consistent with our previous meeting. We've had also a discussion with architect in the last couple of days on costings there in terms of alternate options for that project. And Earthquake Prone, nothing further to add this month. Westmount Community Park progressing well. Those of you who have been past that beside the southern side of the building. So that's going well. Reed's Pit, continue to project. Rob Allen's just not at work at the moment, so I haven't had a chance to catch up on land procurement issue he's looking at for us there. So I'll report as soon as I've got something.
I had a question on that one, Douglas. We were previously talking about a potential opening late this calendar year, but given that the grassing and stabilisation are taking through to February, there would be a more likely date, sort of a March, for a formal opening of that site.
I think the difference, we'll come back and confirm a formal opening, but actual practical opening too. I think there'll be two different openings. As soon as we can get open, we should make use of as much summer as we can. Yeah, quick. Prebbleton really is just getting this resource consent sorted, so hopefully that won't be too challenging to resolve the issues that have come through. I'm not familiar with what that come to the staff, but hopefully they won't take too long to get done.
Can I express a disappointment with the fact that 20 days after lodging the consent with ECAN, we've got a request for information? That's actually pretty poor, given that it's supposed to process a consent in 20 days. You wait to the last day of the processing period to ask for more information. Is in fact a very poor process. And I would hope that we would communicate that, because it delays the whole project. If it was our staff doing that to one of our consent applicants, I'd be disappointed.
I think it's fair to raise. We just want to watch how far we throw stones, because there are sometimes that I'm aware of that as a council we, for whatever reason, end up in a similar predicament.
I think the point's large, and I'm not sure quite whether the RFIs are ones we probably should have resolved as well too. So I think we just take your advice you wish it to. And the intersections, excellent work done there by a combination of transportation and property legal staff. We're, I think I'm correct in saying the last one's sorted as well. So we're now good to go to sort of effectively pass over to the construction phase in early February. So yeah, really good. And then an update on the gravel lease issues. That's the final item. I think I just summarised the month up as good progress. Continue to go in a forward direction on all those projects, which is really pleasant.
Yes, I have a query on page 55, Douglas, of your report. You have mentioned about 104 licences expiring 30th of June, and you've got 91 in engagement over to the 31st of October. Can you got an update to give us, seeing we are now nearly the end of November with regards to those leases? Have they been signed? Do they need to be signed? And what's the process?
You're familiar with the letter that appeared, which we issued late last week, so we need to update the contract for that. So the holdover has been extended out to March 2021. In terms of that process, and that was all about our third time to understand the wastewater solution for that. So that was looking at councils and see if you've received a copy of it. And no one's not okay. Maybe a couple of straights. I'm not sure we've got a copy of that. But yeah, so the next comment we will note 31 March 2021 holdover period.
Thank you, Councillor Lyle. You just move in report. Councillor Lyle, second, Councillor Gallagher. Carried as mentioned business, and there was no public forums. The resolution to exclude the public. Lemons and Councillor Gallagher. All those in favour say aye. Against, declare carried. And just adjourn for 5 minutes while the live stream is